I keep thinking about this sentence. Everyone is an artist until the rent is due. At first, it feels like a joke, funny, a little clever. But then, after a few minutes, it stops being funny. It starts to feel like a mirror. When we are kids, everyone is an artist. We create because it's impossible not to. We draw, we sing, we make up stories, we build worlds with sticks and stones and blankets. Nobody asks if it's useful, nobody cares if it's good. The act of making itself is enough, and for a while, it is enough. That is what life feels like before it becomes about paying attention, about paying bills, about paying rent. And then life happens. Not all at once, not in a dramatic way, just life starts stacking responsibilities on your shoulders. School, jobs, family expectations, deadlines, and slowly, almost without noticing, art stops being enough. Survival becomes more urgent. Food is real, shelter is real, time is limited, energy is infinite, and suddenly the world isn't a playground, it's a ledger, a balance sheet, a list of things that need to be managed. So we start making bargains with ourselves. I'll draw later, I'll write when I'm free, I'll make music after life settles down. But it's never gonna settle down. The promises feel honest, we mean them. We hope for a day when life is easier, when stress is lower, when time is ours again. But life never really pauses. Later keeps moving. The days turn into years, and the artist inside keeps waiting. What changes isn't that we stop caring, it's that we stop giving ourselves permission. We start asking the wrong questions. Is this practical? Will this earn me anything? Does this make sense? Does this even make sense? Art doesn't answer those questions. It doesn't have to. It doesn't care about logic. It asks only for honesty. And honesty feels risky. So we push it aside, quietly, without drama. It doesn't scream or fight. It just waits. Tiny, patient, hoping we'll remember. We turn to work that pays rent. We become careful, responsible, efficient, useful, and that part of ourselves, the one that wanted to make something just because it needed to exist, learns to stay silent. I think this is where most people stop noticing the tragedy. It isn't loud, it's not a grand failure. Each day we survive, we give less space to the messy, inconvenient, unpredictable parts of life. We learn to live without them, and we get very good at it. Yet deep down we notice, we feel the loss in small ways. That tight chest when you hear a song that makes you ache. That sudden grief when a movie scene reminds you of your own unfinished dreams. That restless, almost invisible hunger that money and comfort can't feed. That's the artist reminding you. It's still there, still alive, still waiting. And maybe the cruelest part is that the world seems to reward those who silence it. People who focus on stability, efficiency, output. People who measure life in bills paid, milestones reached, and social approval gained. We celebrate their discipline, their consistency, their practicality. But the restless hearts, the ones still trying to create in hidden corners, get little recognition. Their struggle is invisible, their patience is unrewarded. But that is the point. Art was never meant to be rewarded like a task completed. It was never about efficiency or optimization or success. It is about living honestly, about naming experience, about leaving traces of yourself in a world that tries to reduce people to functions. Art is not decoration, it is how we process life, how sadness finds language, how joy becomes more than a moment, how confusion and fear and longing are transformed into something that can be shared, that can survive beyond us. Without it, life is functional. That quiet ache of meaninglessness, the subtle restlessness, the small daily dissatisfaction, that's the price we pay when the artist inside is forced to hide. Money isn't the enemy, rent isn't a villain, survival is necessary, but survival alone is not life. Life asks for something more, something stubborn, something inconvenient. It asks for expression. It asks for presence. It asks for creation. So maybe that sentence is true, in a literal sense. Everyone is an artist until the rent is due. But maybe the quieter truth is that the artist never leaves, it waits. And if you listen closely, you can hear it whisper, nudging you back toward honesty, to draw that line, to write that sentence, to sing that song, to make something because you feel it must exist. Not for money, not for fame, not for approval, but for yourself, for life, for the act of being alive, in a way that refuses to reduce you to numbers, tasks, and deadlines. And maybe that is the bravest thing we can do, not to fight the rent, not to reject responsibility, but to create anyway, to carve space in our lives for the artist who refuses to disappear, to live in a world that asks for everything and still give something back to yourself. Everyone is an artist, everyone always has been. And maybe the only choice we get in adulthood is whether we let the artist stay silent or whether we let it speak anyway.